Oh, Nick Fasulo's pullout game is strong. Episode 3, everyone. Welcome back. Review Rewind. That's Nick. He's sober.
That's Joe. He's drunk.
And I'm going to get drunker, and while I do it, we're going to, what are we talking about this week?
Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah, Flight of the Navigator. 1986. Kid sci-fi at its finest.
Yep, compliments of Disney.
Oh, yeah. Compliments of Disney.
Oh,
Back when Disney was edgy. And while we do that, we're going to play... Jenga. Yeah, we are. We both rewatched Flight of the Navigator for episode purposes. I know I had not watched it probably since I was 13, 14.
I rewatched it in late high school, believe it or not, or just after high school.
Okay, so somewhere around late teens.
Just before the turn of the century.
Which century? We're old. I didn't take notes for today because I'm what you call a horrible person. Yeah.
And just a heads up, we will be covering some minor spoilers. Some notable faces. There was Sarah Jessica Parker as the intern Carolyn.
Yeah, I mean, long before she's like 20 or 21 in the film.
Also, I noticed, since it's been so long since I watched this, while I was watching it, I'm trying to figure out, like, who's the voice of Max, the ship. So, before he does the scan and he gets the new personality,
sure,
I looked up who he was.
Okay.
And, it's Paul Reubens himself.
Yeah.
Pee Wee Herman. Did you notice who he was credited as?
Paul Mall.
Yes. Do you know why?
Because Disney wouldn't use him or something. I'm sure something like that. Or some Disney thing.
I don't actually know why. I was hoping you would.
I'm assuming that it was something to do with Disney, but honestly, I also know that Paul Reubens, for a very long time, never went by his name. No one knew what Paul Reubens' name was for years and years and years. Like, even in the Pee-wee movies, he was credited as Pee-wee. He wasn't credited as Paul Reubens. He just
was, yeah.
Like, he was very much like one of these, his private life didn't exist, and he was always just these characters.
If you saw him in public, he was Pee Wee Herman.
So, that would be my guess, but I have not researched that. I don't often know what I'm talking about. But,
there you go.
Yeah.
You lost. What rules are we sticking to? One hand only?
Yeah, I mean, I say in general there's 2 rules. One hand only, and once you touch it, you have to move it. You can't do the probing.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because, like, as a kid, I loved the movie. I actually still think it's a pretty good movie to this day. My overall opinion of the film is that it was actually a little ahead of its time.
They were trying to push some of the graphics as far as they really could, but it just wasn't getting there.
No. Even the ship, even as it mold, like, it's got the 2 different
yeah,
and it's this liquid silver thing, and I'm like, I don't know how the hell they did that in 1986. That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out with the steps.
Yeah,
because there's 2 shots where there's practical steps.
Yeah,
he steps on, and
you can't see.
Like, I thought maybe they were doing a forced perspective where it was like on the ground, or there was something in it holding it to the ground. But I'm not sure.
And that's what I mean.
Disney magic. And
that in 1986, if you wanted to make a film about a 12-year-old, you only had 90 minutes.
Yeah.
The first half hour of that film was just scene. It was just move. And I remember being like, man, this could have easily been another 40 minutes. This could have easily been a 2-hour film. Oh, I picked this. And this. I'm just gotta stick to my own rules.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna lose on the first try? Oh, so close. This might not be a bad movie to reboot.
I actually agree with you.
Just thought of that right now. No probing? I'm stuck with this one right now?
Yeah, no probing.
What? This game's not going to last very long if we can't do any probing.
That's the point. I'm normally, and I think we both are normally against reboots, against remakes, is something we agree on. But, again, even what I said, like, where I said this movie's ahead of its time, this movie didn't get properly made because of the year that it was made in. This isn't like a movie that was an amazing, like, Ghostbusters, like these, like, great big epic films that they're just like, we don't feel like thinking of something else. This is reboots. So, like, this is a film that that had a lot of meat on its bones. They really just didn't get to explore because of the limitations of the age. A lot of stuff in this film got, like, glossed over. About, like, well, you only use 10% of your brain, so we filled the other 90% with star charts. It's like, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense.
What happened?
Yeah.
You started leaking. I'd like to explore that.
Well, yeah.
You just touched something.
No, I was fixing it.
A likely story.
I don't have that much negative to say about this film. I actually, rewatching it, was like, yeah.
It wasn't tough to rewatch it, no.
No. Again, I'm like, I was upset. I think this is going to be it for me. Oh, this is so bad. I lose.
No, you gotta do it.
Beans wins round 1!
Woo!
One thing I did think was funny was how much, like, notorious power they give NASA. And they're like, yeah, NASA's doing this, like, and I'm like...
NASA security is on it.
Yeah! They're like, no, they've got him locked down. They won't let him leave. I'm like, it's NASA. Like, they're acting like NASA's like this evil, notorious force.
Yeah.
I loved even the aliens. I thought were amazing. Because they were, which so many movies and shows screw up, of not making them alien. They're all just like people or animals. Like this, you have like the giant eye in the chamber. I was like, I forgot that, and that's amazing.
Yeah, with the laugh.
I was like, that's so great! The weird slime slug, and he's like, yeah, stay away from him. He's got a cold. I was like, I just...
Towards the end, they leave it as though it might not have actually happened. Until he opens up his backpack and pulls out the little guy.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Because up until that point, it could have just been like he fell and hit his head in the woods and was knocked out for 4 hours.
Sure. They even did that. You've seen Contact.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into how much of a fucking amazing film that is.
Okay, go! Okay, go!
There's
Whatever.
20 hours of static.
Yeah.
Before then, like it's her and then 20 hours of static and then her.
Yeah.
So where's the 20 hours of static? But like, it's the proof of the trip. It was like
exactly,
and that was the proof of the trip.
What?
Yeah, I'm cheating.
Come on. You know what? 2-0. This is game 3 now.
Again, I'm a dick when I watch movies. Like I'm looking for the fly in the ointment, and this film a lot of the times didn't have it. It was like I'm saying I was impressed going back and watching this film.
I mean, that's not easy to do. This guy complains about everything. Everything.
When I was a little kid, I had this this ongoing paranoia, and I was like, oh, now I know where it came from. That one day everyone would wake up and nobody would know who I was, and I was like, oh,
this movie.
well, now I know where that fear came from.
Wow.
Got it.
This movie really spoke to you.
Oh no! Like I got like literally like when he gets to his house and it's like the old couple living there and no one like I got a little triggered. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! It's like
happening again.
Yeah, like
It's happening again.
My childhood fear is back, and I was like, I never knew where it came from until I like now I'm like, oh, this is it. This is where I got it from. It was really weird.
We're making breakthroughs this episode. Wow. Wow. I didn't like the explanation of why they couldn't time travel.
Because he was too frail.
The human body is too fragile. And I'm like, these other little creatures are...
Well, and I mean, ideally, which again, kind of a problem. If they're all like living and breathing in the same atmosphere, then they're all carbon-based life forms that breathe oxygen. So what difference does it make?
I don't know why you said no probing. It's a stupid rule.
Yeah.
I've never... Is that one of the rules?
I mean, it can be if you want it to be.
No, I mean, is it on the box?
How to play. Put one hand in your pants. Stroke. With only one hand, remove a block from anywhere below the highest completed tier. You can touch the blocks to find a loose one.
Stupid idiot. Why do I ever put you in charge of anything?
I don't know. I'm out of alcohol.
Also, if you remember, David asks Max, will I remember this? And he says, you will retain all data. Is he saying he's going to keep all the star charts and stuff in his head? Because if so,
That's cool.
there's your sequel. 30 years later, Max comes back. Hey, it's been 5 minutes since I dropped you off. But for you, it's been 30 years. I need your help again.
Oh, it's getting dicey.
Your drunk hands are going to be like, oh, done.
Watch my drunk hands go. Gotta go for gold. I win! He didn't even take a piece!
He lost by probing.
I guess that wraps it up this week, guys. Flight of the Navigator. Worth a rewatch?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! Watch that
Grab your kids. Watch it with them.
Yeah. Especially if you live in South Florida.
Sure.
Because it'll trigger them like it triggered me.
Totally.
Good night.